Hello everybody and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the Switch 2 Direct and it's going to be a partner showcase. In today's video I want to talk about specifically which games I expect and wish that they will show up in this showcase from some specific publishers. So it's not going to be just all of the games. So you don't have to see my ugly face here. You can just look at gameplay or you can treat it as a podcast, whatever you want. So let's start with Capcom first because it's one of the biggest publishers so far with the Nintendo Switch 2. They have done fantastic work with Street Fighter 6 and Kunitsugami, so I fully expect to probably show Sagat for Street Fighter 6, and then when they start showing games, I hope they will come out with Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 remakes. Now, they could just show Resident Evil 2 remake and then they're like, okay, eventually everything will come. I hope they tease Resident Evil 9 because, as I said before, the Resident Evil games, the Resident Evil engine is working really well on the Switch 2, so I fully expect for all of those Resident Evil games to come there. Also, Devil May Cry 4 and 5. Now, 4, it may not be the case, but definitely 5, I fully expect it to show up, and the special edition as well. Wishful thinking now about this company. This is something that I wish it happens. I'm not really sure if it's gonna happen. It's Onimusha Way of the Sword. Now, this franchise was mostly PlayStation. I'm not sure if the audience is familiar with it outside if they played the games now on the Nintendo Switch that they released 1 and 2. But I fully expect them to, in some case or form, at some point that they will show Onimusha Way of the Sword because it's very likely. I feel like a game like that is going to be scalable for the Switch 2. And the most unlikely game that could cause people to go crazy would be Monster Hunter Wilds. Guys, Monster Hunter Wilds would be insane if it showed up on the Nintendo Switch 2. And you may think that I'm crazy to even suggest this, but they have done a lot of optimization for Nintendo handhelds before. So it wouldn't surprise me if they make a specific version that will maybe have no crossplay because it's a little bit different than the other versions that we have on PC and PlayStation 5. I really like the game. I know a lot of people have gripes with it, but if you have it and possible to play portable, I would love that to be the case because I just really love playing such games portable. Now we go to Square Enix. Square Enix, I hope they open or close this show with Dragon Quest 12. Dragon Quest 12 has been, it feels like it's either been waiting for the Nintendo Switch 2 or I don't even know what's going on anymore. Because that game, I just hope it comes out and it comes out well because it was just a couple of days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, that it was the 8th anniversary of Dragon Quest 11. So maybe now it's the time for that to happen as well for Dragon Quest 12. We had only some very small teases with just the name and saw nothing out of that game. So hopefully we're gonna show something here for the Nintendo Switch 2. And then I expect that they're gonna show Final Fantasy VII Remake again. They may show Visions of Mana. I think it's a easy kind of game to get up because it's the only game missing from the Mana series on the Nintendo Switch. So that will be good. I have a feeling of expecting Final Fantasy XIV because Final Fantasy XIV doesn't have like the best situation right now when it comes to like the gameplay and the audience now that I was playing that game. I used to play, like I have like over 3,000 hours on that MMORPG. And I remember that they wanted to put it everywhere. The Yoshi P specifically had said that they wanted to put it on Nintendo, they wanted to put it on Xbox as much as they could. So I hope that we're gonna see Final Fantasy XIV for the Switch 2, maybe a teaser or just announced. Who really knows? But then I have my wishful thinking picks. Now, this only exists because it happened also for Xbox, so I'm hoping Final Fantasy 16 gets a second chance with the Nintendo Switch 2. And then the biggest copium that we are gonna see Kingdom Hearts trilogy in some way or form native for the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know if they're gonna offer anything. Like the thing is, because a lot of people have bought the cloud version, which is definitely bad, and I will never buy that game in a cloud version. But if you had to, like maybe already have it for whatever reason, maybe you get some discount for the Switch 2, or maybe you don't, because I mean it's a company, they don't really care about you. So then we go to the next company, and it's Sega and Atlus. I fully expect the first thing that they're gonna show is gonna be Metaphor ReFantasio. That game really deserves like a lot of good sales because it's a really cool game. It's not exactly Persona, but in the way of the pacing that the game works, it really reminds you of Persona if you played. Then I expect for them to show or at least announce Persona 3 and 4 remakes because those are like big games that will be for the Switch 2. Persona 5 Royal again with the full price for the Switch 2. This happened again before with PS5, so I fully expect it to happen again with the Nintendo Switch 2. And yeah, you paid it before, you're gonna pay it again, and that's it. Then we have Yakuza Kiwami 2. They take a little bit of their time, around 3 to 6 months, to show each like new game. It started with Kiwami 1, then they went to 0, and I think now they're gonna go to Kiwami 2. I secretly hope that they're gonna patch or they give a patch for the Kiwami 1 for the Switch 2. That will be cool. And I also expect to see Virtual Fighter 5 Revo for the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, wishful thinking picks for Sega is going to be the Judgment series. So Judgment 1 and Lost Judgment to be able to show as a duology or something like that for the Nintendo Switch 2. And now we have Xbox Game Studios. They're gonna definitely have a strong presence in this showcase, I believe, because they have so many games now from different companies that I would expect them to show up on something like the Switch 2. So first, I expect them to come out with Diablo 4. It's a huge successful game, a live service game, and who wouldn't want to get it on handheld if you don't have a Steam Deck or something like that? Definitely it would be nice to have it on something the Switch 2. I expect in some way or form for Call of Duty to show up. Maybe it's gonna be Warzone, maybe it's gonna be something specific, I'm not really sure. But they may show like Black Ops, whatever number it is right now. But yeah, like I will expect Call of Duty to be there in some way or form to tease or to get announced. And then I expect for Age of Empires 2 HD for them to show, it's gonna have mouse controls and all of that, and it's gonna be cool. Then we had Age of Mythology Remake, again, to be able to show also the mouse mode. It's gonna be really cool with RTS games. Now, I know that Outer Worlds 2 definitely gonna show up because even the Outer Worlds 1 was showing up for the Nintendo Switch 1. So I fully expect for Outer Worlds 2 to come out for the Switch 2. I want to have Forza Horizon 5, but I'm really not sure how they're gonna make it work without the analog triggers. So that could be something that holds up some racing games from showing up on the Nintendo Switch 2 in general. But if they find a way to do it, I will be happy to play Forza Horizon 5. Now, wishful thinking games from Xbox Game Studios. So I'm hoping for a Diablo 2 patch for the Nintendo Switch 2 to have better resolution and frame rate. Frame rate already has better on the Nintendo Switch 2 from the Nintendo Switch 1, but I hope that we get a better resolution as well for docked and undocked. Gears of War Reloaded, and now the craziest one, which is Sekiro. Now, I think that's very unlikely. For anyone that doesn't know, Sekiro is not owned, like Bloodborne is not owned by FromSoft. It is actually owned by Activision. And how, Bloodborne is owned by PlayStation. That is how it works for that game as well. So if it shows up, that will be like really cool, but I kind of like never expect it to happen. It will be cool if it happened though. And speaking of From Software games, I expect them to also show up with showing again Elden Ring. I don't expect them to show the new game yet, but I expect them to show more of Elden Ring, some areas and stuff like that. And hopefully they will show also maybe a switch to Dark Souls trilogy. That would be amazing because I went back to play again these games and I would really love to be able to do it on the Nintendo Switch too. I have been playing Dark Souls 1. I really like that it has the original lighting and not the new lighting from the remake, from the remaster, I should say. And it will be nice if they get also a trilogy for the Nintendo Switch too, with all, just like how they did for the PlayStation 4 back in the day. I'm pretty sure that can easily happen if they want to do that, if they expect some sales, with Elden Ring getting some hype as well. So that is what I really expect, and I'm not really sure. I don't think Elden Ring even had a release date, so that's why I put it in again. So probably they will show some release date for Elden Ring as well. So that is it. That is what I hope to see from these companies. It's a lot of games, and it's only 25 minutes, so don't expect all of this stuff to be there. But it will be nice, even if half of these come true, I will be really happy. Tell me what you think about this. Do you expect like some of these specific games? Do you think some are like highly unlikable to show up there? I definitely hope that Monster Hunter Wild somehow manages it to happen for the Switch too. And just to play portably because I just love playing portable Monster Hunter. So yeah, that is all. Hope you have a great day and see you next time.